Anyway, speaking of irrigation, irrigation on an extensive roof is very helpful, but it's a little counterintuitive to that whole conservation thing we're trying to do. However, if you can do a rainwater recovery system where you're taking any of that water that goes off the roof drain, goes into a tank, use a solar pump, run it back up, and then water the roof, you get extra points here, okay? The problem is the cost. Those systems are running about $6 a gallon to install. So you do a 5,000 gallon tank, you're looking at some money. Depending on the type of tank you're using, where you're locating it, how you're doing it, but that's sort of that rule of thumb. This is irrigated. This is an ultra lightweight roof. This roof was probably about 12 to 15 pounds. These are concrete pavers. So everybody knows that concrete paver is about 2 inches thick, right? The soil is only an inch thick. It's actually a mat impregnated with green roof soil and planted with sedum. This is an ultra lightweight roof. And what was going on here is there's moss underneath these solar panels. So we're trying to get moss to grow, and we had sedum out around this. The demonstration was trying to cool the solar panels to see if we increase the efficiency of the solar panels by the vapor cooling of the sedum roof. Okay? So some of your Obama bucks went to fund this project we were involved with. Turns out, noticed about a 1% increase in efficiency. Okay? Because on the other side of this was the control, which was the exact same setup. No sedum, no green roof, no watering. Got about 1% efficiency out of this thing. Dollar and cents wise, it doesn't pay. Okay. But it's cool. Neat, right? Notice that even with this little tiny layer of soil, we got weeds. Still have weeds. You know, weeds are your big headache. Soil nutrition on this is also very critical. That you gotta maintain, really monitor soil nutrition. All right, talking back to irrigation, looking at drip system. Drip systems are very effective, and what we want to do is actually put the drip system, if we're going to use, I talked about putting down sedum sod, that's sedum sod. So essentially we've got soil, and then we're putting our sedum sod down, and it's like sodding a lawn with the sedum plant population. You're going to put your drips under here, cover it up. From a maintenance standpoint, super efficient. Don't have to worry. There's no rabbits up here chewing through the drip lines. You know, hopefully there's no mice, no rats. If everybody, you know, any maintenance guys that are on the ground, you know what happens to this drip. Every critter in the world's chewing holes in this stuff all summer long. It's an absolute nightmare. On the green roof, I don't have to worry about that so much, but it's a very effective way to get water up there. What you gotta think about though is how far you space the drip tube, because the way this soil works, the way the soil works is it drains differently. Water doesn't spread out like it does in native soil. Water, the cone is much tighter because that's a porous surface. So we're going to tighten up that drip tube a little bit. Okay. We also will put overhead irrigation on these if it's a semi-intensive or intensive. But if you're going to do a sedum roof with irrigation, we're going to want you to do drip. So that's where your money's best spent, most effective. Now that's that same project where we had a wildflower meadow on one side, and we had the sedum carpet on the other. If anybody recognizes this, this is the convention center. I'm no longer maintaining this. I haven't been up there for a while. I haven't seen what this looks like. But what was really interesting, when this, we didn't design this. We didn't even consult on this. We just built it. And I looked at this and said, this is going to be a total disaster. We're going to end up with every wildflower seed in this whole stinking roof is going to be grown in that sedum in 12 months. This is going to be the biggest catastrophe you ever saw in your life. Well, it turned out I was 100% wrong. The sedum has gotten into the wildflowers. I have no idea how the sedum got into the wildflowers. It doesn't have legs. It can't walk across the pavers. But if you look at this slide on that edge, that is all sedum that has gotten into the wildflowers. And it's actually out competing the wildflowers. And the hard part about getting rid of sedum, it's almost impossible. Anytime a little leaf of that stuff breaks off and you leave it in the soil, it grows a new plant. It's like that aloe plant you used to have as a kid. You stick it in the ground, or all of these sedums, all these stone crops, will literally regenerate from as much as a fleck of a pencil eraser of a leaf. It'll grow a new plant. So this stuff is hard to get rid of. And like everything else, the stuff you want to grow and you paid a lot of money for never grows. And the stuff that you don't want to grow that didn't cost you a thing grows all over the place, right? It's hard to get rid of this. And now the sedum is the weed. Right? So I think I've covered most aspects of this. Green roof construction, green roof maintenance is critical. It is not something to be taken a cavalier attitude about, because the problem is everybody's watching. And if you screw something up, somebody's going to know about it very quickly. And you've got a building underneath you. And some of these buildings, I mean, we've got literally, I'll put these things over top of operating rooms, rare book archives. We're building one right now that's going to be going over clean rooms for nanotechnology, nano clean rooms, where they're going to be doing a little nanobot, whatever they do in there. This has to work. You got to do it right.